We're going to solve some crazy equations. In fact, I don't want it to say other anymore. Let's get rid of that. I want it to say crazy. Cray.
What the heck? Whoa, perfect English. Wow.
Crazy equations.
Make that a font.
Crazy equations. You guys ready for this beast? It is crazy. All right, we got to solve this foo right here. Now, because it has exponents, you have to make this equal to 0 first before you even think about doing something with it. So we have 3x to the 4th minus 48x squared. How'd you do that? I subtracted 48x squared from both sides. Because I want it to equal 0. And so once I get everything on one side, my job now, I'm thinking, is to factor. I gotta factor this foo so that I can use the 0 property. We're gonna use the 0 property to solve this diggity doggy. So, what can I take out of both of those?
3.
I can take a 3 out, and what about my variables? I'm gonna go x squared, yeah. Now I'm gonna put parentheses around it just because I wanna call that a factor, and I want you guys to be used to that. And then when I divide each of these by 3x squared, what do I get? Let's see, I get 1x squared, and then what's that divided by that? 48 divided by 3 is what? The 16, so I have negative 16, and then x squared divided by x squared is 1, so it goes away. Now I have a perfect square. Do you guys see that perfect square? We got more factoring to do. That's a perfect square, and that's a perfect square. And that is a difference. This is a difference of two perfect squares. So let's factor that some more. Give it some more. All right, so we have this first factor, and then we have x minus what?
4.
4. And then x plus what?
4.
4. Okay, so how many factors do we have to set equal to 0? 1, 2, 3. Okay, now we can set these equal to 0 in our head, okay? What value of x would make this factor, the first factor, equal to 0?
0.
So x can equal 0. If I plug 0 into all of these x's, we would get 0 because this factor would be 0. What would I plug into this factor right here?
4.
Quattro. All right. If I plug in 4 to each of these, then this would be 0, and anything times 0 would be 0. What do I have to plug into this one? Oh, so instead of writing positive 4, I'm going to put plus or minus 4. Shebang-a-dang. That is one way you can solve this. All right, let's go on to the next one. Let's pull out the purple marker. All right, let's see. Oh, look at this one. I think it's already like set up for me to factor. I'm going to factor using grouping, but you could use this box right here. Where you use the box, you put x to the 3 minus 3x squared, 3x, and minus 9. Actually, since I'm already doing it, let's finish this. Now we got to look at the columns, and we got to look at the rows, and take out a greatest common factor from each of these. What can I take out of both of those? An x. What can I take out of both of those? They're both negative. Negative 3, and that's it, right? What can I take out of both of those? X squared. Yeah, what can I take out of both of those? 3. Okay, now we got to double check to make sure the box is working here. X times x squared is that. Negative 3 times x squared is that. Negative 3 times 3 is negative 9, and x times 3 is 3x. Okay, cool, we're good. Let's write out what we have so far. We have x minus 3, and then we have x squared. Is that plus 3?
Yeah.
Oh, dang. All right, can I factor anymore? I kind of want to because there's a squared right here, but is this a difference of squares? No, it's not factorable, so that means we got to take each of these factors and set them equal to 0 to see what x can be for our solution. Now, this one's obvious. What does 3 have to be right here for this factor to be 0? 3. Okay, but this one's not so obvious. Maybe it's obvious to you. That's x squared plus 3 equals 0. How do we solve that? Oh, let's subtract 3 from both sides. Yeah. So I have x squared equals minus 3. Ooh, that actually can't happen, huh? We're going to get some fake numbers here. They're called imaginary. Plus or minus, it would be negative, you know, but we wouldn't write it like that. We would write it like this, plus or minus square root of 3, and then you put an I right there. All right. Now, depending on the problem might say list all possible solutions. If it does, then you have to list the imaginary. If it just says list only like what are the real solutions, then the answer is only 3, because this one is not real. He is fake.